Greetings, avid ears! Today we're going to be learning about Cornell notes. You know the 4 parts of the 10 steps of the Cornell way. Note-taking, 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 note-making, 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 note-interacting, interacting, 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 and reflection, reflection, reflect. Let's go! Hello, scholars. So here we are with a traditional sheet of Cornell note paper. This is the part that you would do first, filling in that body with lots of useful information gleaned from either your teacher, a notebook, or perhaps a quiz or test. Then you would go back, of course, and chunk that information with questions over here on the left. Finally, as you reflect, you'd write a quick summary to which each sentence would be an answer to the question as it appears in the left margin. Everyone knows that. That's typical Cornell note-taking system. However, what about those times where you get a worksheet and you want to use Cornell notes because you have to, because you're mean how the teacher makes you? Don't be alarmed, but you can also use these worksheets like this one here for world geography, and you take this information. This is the same information that would go in the body on the right. Then you would go back and, using these as cues, create questions so that you could chunk your information. For example, map. What is the definition of a map? What is map scale? What are map distortions and why it happens? And each of those would represent a chunk on your Cornell note paper. It is also possible to process your notes right on the worksheet, where you go back and for each item write a higher level question for each of the pieces of the body. Then you go back and summarize that information again, with each sentence being an answer to a question that appears in the left margin. So, there are also other ways to take notes as well. You can use the old bookmark technique that's available in the Avid Coordinator Google Drive. It is a bookmark where you process the worksheet on this bookmark and staple it to it. Remember, the key part is that you go back and reflect. Go back, annotate, circle keywords, highlight questions, put in question marks, circle those keywords again and again and again until you know it so well. Remember, the point of Cornell Notes is to move that information into knowledge so that you can get into college. Those of you who are lucky enough to be using interactive notebooks, however those are set up, with the input on the left, that being the creative side of your brain, and the teacher side in the right-hand side, that is where your notes should appear, because most of those are teacher given. So your Cornell notes again appearing on the right, the information that you create from those notes on the interactive side, creative side on the left. It's as easy as pie, really, and the point being that you are creating something new. Let's look finally, shall we, at this math Cornell note sheet. Come closer, Mr. Ivan, come closer. And you can see here we have a lot of information and examples. This student now, in her math class, is going to go back and ask a question about each chunk. Then, finally, to reflect, she's going to answer each question in the left margin, here at the bottom as a summary. She'll go back again and again, because as we know, you have to turn information into knowledge to get your royal brain to college. Thank you so much for listening.